Ladies and gentlemen, now the moment you've all been waiting for.
You are now listening to the sounds of Milkcrates Microphones.
So, joining us live on this very special podcast, he is a man that's been in the hip-hop game, the independent hip-hop game, for 20-plus years, and during that 20-plus years, he has worked with some of the biggest names in the underground industry, including Slug, Aesop Rock, Eyedea, Blueprint, of course,
yes,
and he works with Blueprint still to this day with his podcast they are doing every week, Super Duty Tough Work.
Orphanage member.
And also, he is one of the people that I think we looked up to and idolized as a hip-hop head back in the day, and
Yes,
still
sir.
to this day.
Yes, sir.
He released albums such as Celestial, Clockwork, and his newest, first ever self-produced album, Autopilot. He's the one, the only hip-hop's own, Ohio's own Illogic.
Lyrical wordplay master.
Welcome, Illogic. Thank you for coming, man. Thanks for being so gracious with your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys. I messed up last time, so thank you.
No, man. Thank
no
you
problems.
for being here.
Yes.
And we're just happy to have you on, brother. We're huge fans. We've been fans for around 20 years, my friend.
Yeah,
So we've listened to you for a long time, and
so it's
we're happy to have you.
it's an honor to have you here and talking with us and doing and sharing some of your thoughts and some memories. Definitely, we'll talk a little bit about that.
Cool.
So how you been? It's been last year was a crazy year, 2020. I'm sure it's the first year you were off the road in a long time, and you made your first self-produced album. Was the quarantine, did that kind of solicit the fact that that's why you had to make your first self-produced album?
No, actually, the album had been done for a few years, for the
Nice.
most part. It was just the quarantine kind of gave me the kick in the ass to put it out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Gave you some free time.
Yeah, it gave me some time to get, things together, get the campaign together and all that stuff together. So, but the album had been done for a while, and I had started producing probably about 3 or 4 years prior to that. So
Nice. And what got you into doing your own production?
I've always wanted to,
Yeah.
always wanted to produce. Just watching my friends, that produce. I was always a music head, so I would pick out loops and things like that. And I always wanted to produce my own album at some point in my career. And so just getting into production, the way I started was during the time that I recorded everything for the Blockhead project that we did for Capture the Sun and all the preparing for captures. I actually started, I recorded all of that myself and engineered myself and all that. So that's kind of how I, put my
Got your feet wet.
toe in the water.
Yeah, there you go.
Got my toe in the water a little bit with that. And I did all the mixing for that album. And, the next step was production. And I'm happy that I did it. It's probably reignited something in me, my excitement for doing music again.
Yeah, it's always nice to get to find something new when you've been in something for so long, to kind of light that fire and
A new niche to relight
Yeah,
it, what I mean, to keep you going again,
keep
to bring a spark
motivate,
of, bring a spark of continuity to it, try to
Yeah.
just bring it all back to what it used to be for yourself, but on your aspect this time instead of somebody else's aspect.
Yeah, exactly. Having full control is an experience that I'd never want to give up again. Like, I love doing stuff with other people. I love rapping on, other people's beats, but it's just after having that feeling of being in full control of every aspect of the music, every aspect of the project, it's something that that I love, and
It's a total game changer.
I'll always do.
Yeah. Well,
definitely.
we definitely look forward to hearing some more of your self-produced projects. But going back in time to some of your first projects. Now, did you started rapping in high school, or was it before that, or did you play any instruments, or what kind of got you into the music game in the first place?
Well, I wrote my first rhyme when I was 9 years old,
Okay.
and been writing since then. But I started out writing poetry as a kid, and my mom used to have me have a word of the day or a word of the week. So
wow.
I had to read the dictionary and learn words, and so I was really enamored with the English language at a young age, and watching TV, watching videos and stuff, and seeing hip hop for the first time as a kid, and loving words the way that I did at such a young age, it was like, oh, you can do that. Like, I don't have to, because I didn't know how to sing very well, so, but I always loved music. So once I saw hip hop, I'm like, oh, you can do that, so I just, I was like, let me try that, so just trying that out and kind of stuck with it. And, the rest is history.
You could
definitely.
I did play saxophone in high school and middle school as well. And that's always been a love of mine as well. Jazz. I love jazz.
Nice. Do you still play the sax at all?
I don't. I want to get back into it. When I was in high school, because I used to take private lessons and everything. Like I used to play in church, and so I used to really play. But my saxophone that I had got dented or something. Like I dropped it, and it got dented, and I never got it fixed, and I never played after that.
Man, that's too bad.
Yeah. So I want to get back into it though. I'm actually looking into doing some YouTube university lessons.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing about today's technology. You can just learn so much from the internet.
Quick, pick it right back up.
Totally. So, you mentioned, we mentioned Blueprint a little bit. We know that's your good homie from back in the day. Did you guys meet in high school, or how did you go about meeting Blueprint?
Actually, I met Blueprint. Let's see. So I was in high school, and Manifest, who was part of Greenhouse Effect, the early iteration of Greenhouse Effect, he actually went to the same high school that I did, but graduated a few years before I got there. And we used to have these things called alumni days, where all the alumni would come back to the school and talk to the students and talk to the teachers and catch up and all that stuff. And I used to plan battles in high school. We used to have battles like once a month on our lunchtime.
Oh shit!
And we had brackets and everything, like
promoting battles.
Jeez,
nice. Yeah. So and so I specifically planned this specific battle on alumni day, because usually the school is packed with people that don't go there, and nobody really goes to class.
A lot of eyes.
So
a lot of eyes.
Yeah, a lot of eyes.
Yep.
So so we did that battle. And I ended up winning, but Manifest was there and he saw it. And after the end of the battle, he introduced himself and told me about a hip hop night that they did at their college, which was about 45 minutes away from Columbus, and asked if I wanted to come down and perform. And I had a group at the time called Unconquered Dimension, and it was me, one of my friends, and a female actually as well. And so we ended up going down there, and that's where I met Blueprint. He was the host of the show.
Pretty tight.
And so I met him the first time there, and then later on I was in the Hip Hop Expo. We had a Hip Hop Expo yearly here in Columbus. And it's an annual thing, and it was really, really good back in the day. It's still going on, and it's more for the young kids now. It's not as rooted in the culture as much, but I was in the freestyle battle for that, and I ended up winning that when I was about 16, 17.
Nice.
So I won that, and me and Blueprint ended up talking again there. And down the line, I went to the University of Cincinnati, which is where he lived at the time. And I contacted him and let him know that I was going to be going to school there. And that first year of college, when I should have been studying, that's when I recorded Unforeseen Shadows.
Okay. That makes sense. Now, did you finish college?
I did after that. I didn't finish when I was supposed to.
Yeah.
But I do have my bachelor's and master's degree now.
Awesome. Now, going back to the high school days when you were planning these battles, what kind of kid were you in high school? Were you focused on your schoolwork? Were you kind of getting into trouble, starting shit, or fights at all?
No, I was focused on schoolwork. I was very studious kid, A's and B's, making sure that wanting to go to college, but also wanting to rap.
Definitely.
And once I got to college, the school was like, I'll do that another time.
Yeah, go pursue your dreams.
I'll go hang out with Doseone and
Yeah, fucking A.
Now that was one thing that I was
like
wondering.
that name drop.
Doseone went to Cincinnati. Now, isn't he from the Bay Area originally?
He's actually from Philly originally.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
He's from Philly originally and went to the University of Cincinnati. Him and Y from Cloud Dead. They both went to University of Cincinnati, and they were roommates in college and lived literally 5 minutes away from my dorm.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, every day I would walk down to their apartment and smoke way too much weed and write raps.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
That's the way to be, man.
There's so much talent at that time in the Northwest going on. And I mean, I guess the big, everyone always says it's because bad weather kind of creates, you have to stay inside and create art and that type of thing. So that's kind of been the stigma. But there's always been, like, even the Scribble Jam being it from, Ohio. It wasn't in Cincinnati, I believe. So there's always a hip hop scene in that area from Minnesota to Ohio to Michigan. But yeah, that's really interesting to know that Doseone, and because when he came to the Bay Area, he started bringing a lot of the Midwest guys out to the Bay Area to perform and to record, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because
Gel is from Chicago.
Okay.
And Nosdam is actually from Cincinnati as well.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of those guys kind of transplanted to the West to, develop Anticon and
that's way before the Anticon scene, correct?
Yep.
Hip hop was literally traveling from like the Midwest over here to the West
Transplanting
Coast,
itself
and
over here,
from the
yeah.
East Coast over here. I mean, that's like badass, you know, when you see
pretty sick,
hip hop traveling around like that.
Yeah.
And that was also before the time when you could just go on the internet and find any song. It was tape trading and CD trading and that type of thing. That's how
Word of mouth,
That's how we were getting a lot of the music, because we're in California, so we were getting a lot of the East Coast or Midwest stuff just from word of mouth and getting CDs that people had burned and that type of thing back then. But
yeah, that was fun times. I mean, we did a lot of tape trading back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first time I heard Aesop Rock was on a tape that Doseone played me, just because he was cool with him, and they would trade tapes. And
did he
first time I
introduce
heard
you to Aesop?
Actually, no. Well, he introduced me to his music, yes, but personally, he didn't. I actually met Aesop Rock. Him, Cannibal Ox, and the rest of Adam's family performed at my CD release party for Unforeseen Shadows in 2000. And
nice.
This was right before Float and way before Cold Vein came out. And that was when me and Aesop actually met for the first time. And it was really cool. Like, him and Wind and Breeze from Adam's family did backup vocals for me when I performed this song Verbiage, which is the hidden track on Celestial Clockwork, and we had just met, and we were all fans of each other, and like that was a really cool experience.
That had to be awesome.
That shows a lot of love that they knew your material enough to background you on stage and
to
do
support
that
you
type of
like
thing.
that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, speaking of Aesop Rock, let's talk about the Orphanage, because I think that is the most intriguing project that you were involved with for me, because it there's so much left out on the table, so much meat left on the bone. How did that all come together? You guys getting together, and were there ever plans to release a full album?
There was plans to release it. The way that it happened, honestly, we were all in New York for Rocksteady, and we were all at Aesop's little one-bedroom apartment crammed in there.
Is that picture of the Orphanage where you guys are all writing?
No, that was actually that was when we recorded.
Okay.
That was when we recorded, and that was at Eyedea's studio in Eyedea's basement.
Oh wow.
In Minneapolis. But originally, the way the Orphanage kind of formed is we were all friends. We all, were listening to each other's music, doing songs together, and we were all in New York at Aesop's apartment. And Slug said, like, we're all like the orphans of our cities, And because, they were from Minneapolis and they were still trying to get their respect. We're from Columbus, still trying to get our respect. Aesop is still, everybody's trying to claw their way into this, hip hop thing. And, Slug came up with the name, The Orphanage. And, we just thought like it would be cool for us to do some tracks together. So there was a show that was in Minneapolis. It was MF Doom, Sage Francis, Aesop Rock, and I want to say Atmosphere.
Was MF Doom really there?
Yeah, he was actually. He was really there. I actually met him. I got his. He actually have a signed Operations Doomsday CD.
Oh, nice.
That he signed. But yeah, so this was before he started, sending out.
Yeah.
I've been to one of those. That's all.
Sending out the soldiers. He's sending out the soldiers, man.
Yeah, sending out the soldiers.
He's a villain.
Yeah, he was. That was what was cool about Doom.
He lived
but
it.
yeah, that weekend we ended up recording all of this, about 7 or 8 songs for an Orphanage project.
The energy in that room probably was insane.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. And actually, like, that picture of us writing, St. Francis was there, and he took that picture.
Wow.
Wow, that's a lot of people in one room.
That's fire.
So
that's
the
pure
7
fire.
to 8 tracks that you guys recorded, did you guys ever release those, or are those out there?
Well, they are. I ended up doing, because I have a live show that I do called Beats and B-Sides that I do. Usually, I was doing it every week during the pandemic, but I've slowed down now because I've got some other things that I'm working on. But I did an episode of my live show where I played the songs, and it is and I told stories about the orphanage.
Oh, wow. And where can we watch that?
Of it, and
Yeah.
a lot of stories. It's on YouTube, on my YouTube page, Illogic 614, and I believe it's called Whatever Happened to the Orphanage. I believe that's the title of it.
That's what you just sent me, huh?
But I do play all of the songs.
Awesome. I mean, everyone needs to run. Don't walk to that and go listen to that right now. The Orphanage. I think the one song that I fell in love with was the one that Blueprint put out, the Hold Mine song. Was that recorded in the same session?
Yes, it was.
Oh, wow.
That was actually one of the first ones that we did.
Wow, because the one thing that I think stands out about that song is the way that you guys kind of passed it back and forth and changed up the order on each verse, or not each verse, but each section of the beat.
Yeah.
Was a lot of your guys' the other material that you guys put out, was it kind of formatted the same way, or did you guys have just different ways of looking at it?
It was a lot of different, because it was so many of us, so we didn't want to just everybody write a 16-bar verse and have like
a 7-minute song.
Yeah, 8-7-minute songs. So we thought of creative ways to get everybody involved. And there's some of the songs that not everybody's on. There's a song that's just Slug and Blueprint. I don't think I have that one. I think Blueprint actually put that out. It's called Soap. It's on one of his projects, and that was actually a Orphanage song. But that's just him and Blueprint. There's a couple songs that are just 3 of us. So we kind of intermingled and did as many songs as we could together. But we kind of broke off and did a couple, here and there.
Yeah.
Was that the song you played the other day when we were here?
The Hold Mine. Yeah.
Yeah, the Hold Mine.
Yeah.
Man, that's like the sound that you're mining for, that you're looking for. Like when you think hip hop, that is the sound that it's it scratches exactly where it needs to be. Like if you're digging for something and you found a bunch of hip hop and other stuff, that Slug, Eyedea, whatever you're going to, that is, I feel like, the pinnacle of the sound you're itching for. Like it's crazy. It's amazing.
Most definitely.
A lot of good styles mashing together.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey man, going back a little bit to just Celestial Clockwork. That's one of my favorite albums by you, and produced entirely by Blueprint. And I want to know, when did you guys know that album was special? Was it right away?
In the process.
Okay.
Yeah, like during the process, like doing some of those songs, like just the demos of some of those songs, we knew we had something special.
Totally.
And then once it was completely done, because a lot of those songs, like some of the songs, like Thousand Whispers, for example, I didn't record it to that beat.
Great
I
fucking
recorded
song.
it to a different beat. There's a lot of those songs that the beats were changed. There was, the song me and Slug did. That song wasn't actually recorded to that beat. That ended up being something completely different. So Blueprint really put his foot into it and really produced around the vocals and made sure that there was a record label that wanted to put out Celestial Clockwork, and we did that to give to this record label, and they ended up, kind of trying to jerk us, and we ended up putting it out ourselves. So actually, Celestial Clockwork was supposed to be my second album.
Oh wow!
And Got Lyrics was something that we just kind of threw together for this record label, and because we liked how it turned out as well, we ended up putting that out second.
Before Blueprint stepped in, were you satisfied with the beats that were originally on those songs, or were you happy with the changes, or was there some songs that you would have been like, I would have happy the way it stayed?
I was happy with the originals. I picked the beats, so
yeah, definitely.
I was happy with the originals, but I was more happy with the updates.
Yeah, the end product.
Do you still have the originals with the original beats on them? That's awesome.
I have some of them.
That's awesome. You should put those bad boys up. Definitely. I would love to hear that.
That's actually there's a if you go to my and check out my beats and B-sides, there's a lot of, and I play a lot of the unreleased versions of some of those songs, and
that's awesome.
Some other stuff, and tell stories about the creation of the album. It's a lot of that, like for the beats and B-sides. That's what I mainly do, is like kind of, do kind of exposés on different projects and different things that I was a part of, and also do other things, like I make beats live and all kind of crazy stuff. So yeah, check it out.
Definitely. I actually caught you the OG Thousand Whispers version, man, on your beats and B-sides. So that was a pleasure to hear. It was nice to catch that and get an inside, listen of that. Let's go into a little bit about the Super Duty Tough Work podcast that you have going on with Blueprint. You guys put out a lot of good advice, I want to say, a lot of good information for up-and-coming artists and people getting involved in the music industry and things like that. You want to just talk a little bit about that? How did that go about getting started? How long you been doing that for?
Well, Super Duty Tough Work originally was Blueprint and DJ Rare Groove.
Okay.
They started it while they were out on tour, and it's meant to be kind of originally just a kind of peak have regularly anyway. Kind of the white van talk, kind of thing. And so that's how it originally started with them. And then for, different reasons, once they got off of tour, because Rare Groove still lived in Cincinnati and Blueprint lives in Columbus now, they had issues recording and making time to actually do it, things like that. So he just asked me if I wanted to be a part of it, and I said yes. And we've been going strong for I want to say 4 years now.
Wow.
It's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, we have like 260 or 70 episodes.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
You guys definitely make a great team, have always made a great team, and it's nice to see you keep, continuing to do work together, whether it's music, whether it's podcasts, just in general, man.
I like seeing the old hip-hop heads sticking together through it all. Yeah.
Shout out to Weightless Recordings right there, keeping it strong.
I want to mention real quick that song. My boy sent me Pickpocket the other day. Amazing. I'm talking lyrical, just a range, like just fucking the dynamic is insane. The wordplay is insane. What was the motivation behind that track?
It was kind of just me wanting to flex some skill.
You fucking flex, bro. Shirt was off, bro. Fucking flex, bro. Shirt was off. He's pushing weights. That shit was hard as fuck, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Thanks, man. Yeah, because on the Autopilot album, a lot of the songs are more,
Yeah. So, are you already working on the follow-up to Autopilot, or are you taking some time off?
Oh yeah, I have. I'm working on. I have an EP about verses I need to finish, and I'm working on an instrumental album as well, and then a proper full-length follow-up. I have probably about 90% of the production done already. I just have to write it.
You're going full producer with releasing the instrumental album and everything, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm going in, man.
I love it.
I just released a beat tape today.
I
just released a new beat tape today for Bandcamp Day on my band
on your Bandcamp, huh?
On my Bandcamp.
Nice.
What's the name of that? Do you want to promote that real quick?
We'll pull those.
Yeah, it's called Beats for You Volume 3, Volume 1, Volume 2.
I'll find them right now.
with the people.
That's awesome.
That's dope. I know also, aside from that, released today on all platforms. This was released kind of recently, but on all platforms today, Right the Ship EP, the collaboration project with you and Odd Nosdam. You guys, yeah, it's badass.
Sick.
It's really dope. You guys reconnected after what, 23 years to make music again?
Yeah, 23 long years, all because of a tweet.
That's dope. Can you talk us a little bit about that before maybe we depart? Let's talk a little bit about that Right the Ship and that tweet, maybe how that got started.
Yeah, it's a guy named Ryan, and just out of the blue, he tweeted and tagged me and Nosdam and said, like, it'd be dope if Illogic and Odd Nosdam did a project together. And a couple days later, Nosdam hit me with a DM like, "Yo, you want to do this?"
Yeah.
And then he started sending me beats, and we worked on it for about 2 or 3 years.
Oh wow!
I would say Chokehold's my favorite song off that little LP EP you released. That shit's crazy
Really?
good. Yeah, Chokehold
is
amazing.
Chokehold was it's where the beat took me, and I'm actually working on a project that's kind of in that vein of that style of me performing. That's a little more sing-songy, a little more melodic. So I'm excited that people actually like it. It was one of those taking a chance and utilizing my voice in a different way that people never heard. And at first I was a little worried, but Nosdam, that's his favorite song.
It's Chokehold too.
Nice.
That's sick.
We're gonna have to play that then.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting kicked out of his studio and couldn't finish mastering them. And so, we went with what we had, but it made a nice little.
I feel like it's an easy listen. It is not like something you don't gotta dig and I gotta make time. I sat outside for a minute and just enjoyed myself, watched my daughters goof around in the yard, put that shit in the headphones, and just kind of enjoyed myself. It was honestly amazing. You could get through that shit and really enjoy what you're hearing. There's no I gotta skip it or nothing. No, you don't gotta skip that shit at all. You just fucking let that shit gun through full throttle all the way. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that.
Shit's
man.
good,
yeah,
dude.
We are talking about working on a full length later down the line. But me and him have been talking about working on a full length. So that should be coming in the next few years.
We're looking forward to hearing that. Now, 2021, do you have any shows lined up? Are you starting to think about getting life back on the road, or are you kind of holding tight and waiting for everything to the smoke to clear?
I don't have any shows lined up. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be touring again. I'm like 41 years old. I got a wife and 3 boys. Like, I'm trying to get them out of my house. I'm trying to raise them out the house. So I'll probably do shows here and there, but as far as touring, being a touring artist, I think those days are done for me. Unless an opportunity that I can't pass up comes along.
Definitely.
But I think I'll still definitely do shows, here and there, but not full tours.
Yeah.
If I wanted you to perform at my birthday, how much would it cost me?
We could talk about that off.
Yeah, that's all I want to know.
He's a businessman. I love it. Well, I want to say thank you so much for giving us your time and being so gracious and letting us learn a little bit more about Illogic, and we look forward to hearing more from you and the projects and stuff, and hopefully we can link up and talk again in the future.
Okay, thank you guys, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
Quick question before you go. Quick question. Favorite song on Celestial Clockwork of your own?
On my favorite song on Celestial Clockwork?
Yes.
Oh, that's hard.
It's like his babies. It's like picking between his
kids. Pick the kid, man.
Probably Live to Die.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
There you go.
Wow.
That's a good one.
It's a classic album, man. It's a playthrough all around.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
We look forward to hearing some more classic stuff from you. And again, thank you again for joining. Once again, we look forward to talking to you hopefully soon again, and we can do this again and learn a little bit more about Ohio independent hip-hop icon Illogic.
Peace.
Thank you for your time, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Peace.
What's up? This is Illogic. You're listening to Milkcrates and Microphones.